What's up, Trojans? I'm back. I guess good as new. Uh, I know there's been some dark clouds recently, but after dark clouds, no matter how long they're up there, the sun always rises. So this is a TNA Slammiversary 2014 review. They done aired it Friday night for 3 hours. There was no new Impact, but I remember seeing this show when it happened, and this airing. So I got the chance to see it, so I'm going to talk about it. All right, the first match, I have the notes up here, was a 6-man ladder match for the X Division title. Tigre Uno, Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards, Crazy Steve, Manic, and Sonata. You look, a lot of the guys that were in the roster at this time aren't there anymore. Great, I think the Menagerie came out with a little midget, but great high-flying action like the Wolves. There was teasing tension between the two. The whole crowd was hot for Crazy Steve. They really were. And my favorite spot in this match was when Manic flips over out and power bombs one of the Wolves, Davey Richards, I think it was. Pam! On the ladder. And then the match ends with Sonata winning. But great match. This is how Money in the Bank should be. And it usually is, But, yeah. Because MVP got injured, they had to do a format where there were 2 singles matches booked for that night, 2 grudge matches. And the winners of each match was going to go to the main event in a cage against Eric Young. So Bobby Lashley debuts new cool music and he fights Joe. This is a match of 2 big men. They were slamming each other. They were power slamming each other. Some people say this match was slow paced. I think it was actually pretty good. It was a 10-minute match. Joe got thrown into the steps by Lashley. Joe dived from the ring on Lashley. And then the match ended because Lashley threw Joe into the referee. The referee is like dazed, and then Lashley spears Joe and wins the match. Right? So he goes on into the cage main event. The next match was Magnus versus Will-O-the-Wisp. Bram was in Magnus's corner, and then Abyss came out to be in Willow's corner. These two, this match was pretty good. I remember Magnus did the powerbomb of Verona on Willow. The parts I liked more about this match were what was going on at ringside. You had Bram and Abyss. This should have been a tag match, but whatever. Bram had like a crowbar or something, and he's like, I'm going to beat your ass with it. So then Abyss pulls out Janice, and he's like, come bring it. And then this distracts Willow, and Magnus beats Willow. Now, this was pretty cool to watch. Angle comes out in a suit, Kurt Angle. Yeah, he comes out in a suit, right? And he says that Team 3D is in the Hall of Fame. So Team 3D comes out. I think this was like Devon's first appearance in a long time. And they're announced for the Hall of Fame. Later that year, though, Bound for Glory ended up being built around these 2 guys, but then they left. And I think they're still gone. But yeah, I hope they come back. The next match was the Kenny King and Austin Aries. They're fighting for a spot in the main event. Like I said, Joe and Bobby Lashley was like a match of 2 big men. This match was like an X Division match. High-flying spots. This was also a 10-minute match. But the spots they were doing, like, they've wrestled before, like in Destination X. Aries threw King in the corner, and Aries is charging on him. And King puts his knees up. Bam! And Aries did a suicide dive on Kenny King. Kenny King actually had Aries in the ring at one time, and he was on the top rope. He jumped in and he took him down. Aries ended up winning the match with a brainbuster from the top rope, or I don't know if it was the second rope. I'm not sure, but he did it from the turnbuckle when he pinned Kenny King. So Aries made it to the main event. I predicted both of the grudge matches, even when the pay-per-view happened, but I was actually hoping for Lashley to win the world title at this show. Now, the next match was a tag team match. The Von Erichs versus the Bromans. This match was good, but it really pissed me off. Because, well, number one, TNA should sign these guys. I know that they were in the Gut Check pay-per-view recently, but TNA should sign the Von Erichs. And number two, this was their hometown in Texas. They both came out with Kevin Von Erich. They probably got the biggest pop of the night in Arlington, Texas. And from what I understand, this was the first time wrestling in the United States because even though they were born and raised and trained in Texas, they wrestled in Japan. So their first time wrestling in the U.S. was in Texas, their hometown. And this match is a pretty good tag team match. And then fucking one of the bromans hits one of the Von Erichs with a chair. I don't understand why TNA would do that. Like this family's popular in the city, and it's their first time in the U.S. wrestling. It could have been memorable. You know, they can go over the bromance team. I guess TNA didn't want to bury their talent, but I mean, come on. It's Texas. It's not going to hurt. It would have been great for the crowd. But the one thing is, Kevin Von Erich locked the Von Erich Law on that broman that did that. And it was really cool because everybody in the crowd got up their seat and they were clapping for that. Like, I didn't even think that something like that could happen. A man that's known in Texas but hasn't wrestled for that long, like for years. He hasn't wrestled in like decades, probably. Unless it's been like PCW or some indie fed in Texas. But to see something like that happen in a company like TNA, because I understand something like that would happen in WWE, but something in TNA, for the crowd to go crazy like that was awesome. They popped for the Von Erichs, and they really loved Kevin Von Erich. It would have been nice to see Lacey Von Erich come out with them, because she was probably one of the most gorgeous women to ever step foot in wrestling. I wonder what she looks like now, but anyway, the next match was the knockout match that we've seen 100 times. Angelina Love defending her newly won title against Gail Kim. I'm sure everybody watching this video has seen these two women wrestle. It was pretty much similar to that, except it was really short. From what I understand, it was like, sorry, I'm emailing somebody, or chatting with somebody. From what I understand, it was like 6-7 minutes long. But the real cool spot was, there was a really botched move where Angelina tried to like bulldog Gail Kim. It was botched. And also, it was so funny when Gail Kim tried to like drop kick Angelina. She kicks the referee goes down, and then Angelina wins because the horn dog referee, Stifler, he did the 3 count. So she retains. And the next match, why is she? I'll get back to this message later. The next match was the best match of the night, in my opinion. Ethan Carter III versus Bully Ray in a Texas death match. Bully Ray came out swinging a bull rope, and he was bringing like ECW Bully Ray. I call him Bully Ray, right? Yeah, Bully Ray. He beat the hell out of Ethan Carter, boy. He whipped him with the belt. He whipped him with the cowbell. He hit him. He like cut him with a cheese grater. Beat him with a table. Beat him with pretty much everything he could get his hands on. There was glass in the ring. Carter was bleeding, I think. And he went to town on that boy. And then Dixie comes out. She gets thrown into Ethan Carter. And then they both get knocked out. Bubba puts Dixie on the table. And as he's about to jump on him, Spud comes in. I miss Spud as a heel, but whatever. Spud comes in and he pulls Dixie out. And then Ethan tosses Bubba right through the table. Bubba goes down and then he can't get up. And Dixie's like talking all kinds of shit to Bully Ray. And her and Spud are carrying EC3 out of the arena. Very good match. I couldn't believe what I was watching. This reminded me kind of Mick Foley versus Randy Orton at Backlash 2004. Go find that match. Go find this match. Great. It reminds you of ECW if you watched it. The next match was Ken Anderson versus James Storm. This match was short. It was a typical brawl. It was very random. Ken Anderson, James Storm was talking shit to the Texas football team. And Ken Anderson, who's from Green Bay, Wisconsin, obviously there's beef with there. I guess he put the differences aside. That's what happened. He put his differences aside. OTRS. Fucking nitpicking the show. And Ken Anderson won because of the football team helped him out. You know, just a good brawl. It was a good brawl. Good short brawl. And I liked the feud, too, when they were at the bar and Anderson gets him drunk and beats his ass. This pay-per-view was pretty good. I'm surprised they showed it for free. Even WJ, if you watch his review, he said it was good. And he's one of the biggest TNA haters out there. OTRS was nitpicking the shit. Anyway, the main event. And then he said, wait, I got to move on. OTRS said that this show didn't get him to start watching again. Man, it was good, bro. It was good. That's why they picked it to show, because it was a good pay-per-view. Anyway, the main event, cage match, triple threat, Eric Young, Bobby Lashley, and Austin Aries. A great triple threat match. I don't really like more than two men in a cage together, but it was real good. My favorite part was when Bobby Lashley Bobby Lashley had Aries in his hands and he just tossed him, bam, right into the steel cage. That was funny. Aries, I don't like how he sells the spear because when I've seen him sell Lashley's spear, he just rolls under him. I don't like that, but he did it. Bobby Lashley, I was cheering for him even when the show was live, and I was cheering for him to win the title because I'm a fan of Lashley. Lashley tries to spear Eric, but Eric and Aries move out of the way. He goes through the cell door. He falls out of the cell, or the cage, I should say. And then Eric Young does a sick power driver on Aries to the point where the man was standing on his head for like a minute. Falls down. Eric Young pins Austin Aries, and Eric Young retains his title. Pretty good show. It was aired a year ago, but it was aired on Friday. Go watch it if you haven't watched it. Good Slammiversary. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. This wasn't like an in-depth review because it's a show that already happened, but I decided to give my opinions on it since there was no Impact this week. So yeah, go find the show. Watch May Mayhem this Friday. And then Impact moves to its new night on Wednesday nights next week. So yeah, take it easy, guys. Bye.